Hi, myself Madhu. I'm trying to give some basic understanding of .NET platform or what it is, why all those confusions, clarifications I'm trying to address. In the sense, this code and all, what it is, basically we will be having one operating system on top of which there will be some binary code and some additional libraries. It will give the result. It could be in your Windows laptop or Android tabs or iPhone or whatever it is. In the Windows system, it will be like .exe usually, and in the Android mobile, it will be .apk kind of files. Once you add those, it called the installation or whatever we call. So when we add that, it starts running. It means on top of Windows operating system, the binary code of your exe or apk that starts running with some library. It will give the result. The result means whatever your web pages or mobile games or whatever you call. So this is the basic understanding of how the code executes, simple way. And then in the Windows, for developing this code .exe, we will be writing the code in our C Sharp in terms of .NET. In Java, it will be writing in some Eclipse or any other tools. Kind of VS Code is the one Microsoft made it for the sake of everybody. It could be C Sharp, .NET, Java, or whatever, any code. Okay. So now additional confusions. VS Code, Visual Studio, why this? The concept is simple. Visual Studio is for the sake of completely developing the independent .NET applications. It was running from so long. Okay, they are running it from so many days up to .NET Framework 4.8. It is that particular .NET framework, whatever we call, that was running only on the Windows platform. But since the world is running with open source, so to make that computation or open source, all those things, Microsoft shifted to .NET Core. That is called after .NET 4.8. There is nothing .NET 5. Instead, .NET Core 5, .NET Core version. So .NET Core 5 is 6, 7, 8. Currently, now 9 is running. Okay, this is for all Windows, Linux, Mac, everything it works. .NET 4.8 till that it works only in Windows, but beyond that, whatever the core version, it runs in all. This is the difference between .NET Framework and .NET Core. That's it. And VS Code, Visual Studio, both works for .NET applications, but Visual Studio runs only on Windows. Okay, that is the reason I'm just trying to highlight here. And Linux or Mac or any other platforms, to run the code of .NET, you need VS Code, or the same VS Code you can use for CSS, JavaScript, or any other language. Mostly, it supports every languages, as I know, just like Notepad++. Now coming back to the setup of environment to run the Visual Studio in your either Windows or any Mac, Linux, or anywhere the platform, you need to have some tools that is called Visual Studio or Visual VS Code. So I prefer, if you are a beginner, just go with the community version. You have it. I just attached the in this video bottom footer and the GitHub link everywhere. You can download the community. Just simple. You can download this community version. Professional enterprise all. If you are working for a company or ready to pay, then you can go for it. Once you download and then so once you download from here, you will have a file called like this, Visual Studio Setup.exe. Once you open that, you will get it something like this. So you can do the installation launch or install button you will be getting. So if you are sure of it, just go here and just select each and everything. Otherwise, you can do is import configuration. You can do that. I already selected the configuration whatever is required, mostly for the development environment. If you are beginner for it, it's attached with this my GitHub repository. We can go here, and here I just mentioned VS 2022 Blazor, AspNet Core, everything is there. Preview version, just leave it. You can, if you are experienced, then go for it. Otherwise, Blazor, AspNet Core is enough. Okay. Once you come here and then do the import configuration, and just go there and choose the particular configuration file whatever I had given, you can just download and just open it. You can just review, then you can just do the review details. You can see here ASP.NET and web development, Azure development, Python, Node.js. If you require, you can just enable .NET desktop development. You just select this particular for console applications or Blazor kind of things. Uh, all those things, these are the necessary things. What is commonly for the as a beginners or whatever you call, then these are the things required for installation. Now jumping back, yeah. So using that, you can be able to code C Sharp, Windows programming, or web applications, ASP.NET Core, API, Blazor, all those things you can code. Okay. Till this point, the .NET environment set up. Okay. Now further, Blazor. What is Blazor? Bees. Blazor means it's simple. It's a combination word of browser plus Razor. In the sense, whatever running in the browser with Razor code, it's called Blazor. That's it. Let's see all sharply. C sharp. That's it. Nothing else. Okay, coming back to the same earlier statement, you will be having an operating system on top of which you will be having a binary code, as I was telling .exe or anything, library, and then some packages, whatever you call, you will be getting the result. Same way in all the platform right now also, on your operating system, OS is short form, you will be having a browser. It will be having HTML. When you get in the browser, when you hit something like abc.com, Facebook, XYZ, Microsoft.com, or whatever you call, you will get an HTML content in it. If you do the F12, you will get the HTML content here. Whatever the tags here, div tag, everything is called HTML. That's it. So when you get that, you will get the result. Okay. Whether it can be a Chrome, Internet Explorer, Edge, Mozilla Safari, Tor, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. This is the earlier days static website platform. Later, the dynamic website it came. It means you will be playing a game or whatever you call. You will be clicking something. All those magic you do. Okay, so for that it's called client side scripting. I mean, you will be having a client click activation or whatever you call. You will get a responses in terms of API or HTML response. You will get it and you will deliver it. This is what the platform pattern running from in a dynamic world. In the same way, it started with Angular, React. You might be seeing all those things. What it is it downloads the complete code in your browser cache. You can call a browser memory, and then runs. So that is the reason even with less internet, you can be able to fetch the more data. API means application programming interface. You will be fetching the data. You have the design. All this design right now. I am even if I'm disconnected, the UI content stays here only. Okay. Even the same thing works for the mobile apps also. Okay, so the same way, I mean, Angular, React, or whatever, the same, it all works. These each called component, the left navigation component, the header component, all those things. Okay, so same way, Microsoft started the concept of this Blazor. That's it. Okay, again in this we have something called client render mode and server side render mode. Okay, this is the concept. Now the modes, client side render mode called WebAssembly render mode or server side render mode or auto. Maybe if you are a beginner, you might feel this is a little boring, but still I'm trying to brief with the concept of where the gap, because I have been with guys, they're having nearly working from 4 5 years in Blazor, but they are confused about these kind of things. Blazor, and not only that, even in web development also. They are coding, they do the some Googling and ChatGPT or whatever you call, then they'll just paste it and then leave it. So they don't be able to make the optimization or those tuning kind of. That is the reason this issue. Okay, as I was telling, on the browser, whatever the Razor code works, that's called Blazor. So Razor, in the sense, what is Razor? It is simple. It is having C sharp and HTML code. Let's jump back to some code. So this is my Razor page, dot Razor. Before this, Microsoft started dot .cshtml. That is also C sharp plus HTML. Okay, this is another one. Don't think like how many new things they are adding. Yes, obviously the world is running, so you need the latest things. So this is a page. Maybe you can ask here. Everything is only HTML. Where is the what do you call C sharp? Okay, let's jump back to the famous counter example. You can see here this particular has what do you call HTML content. This is called C sharp content. Okay, that's it. That's it. The magic. Nothing else. Okay. You when you run it, just for the sake of understanding, I'll just make it up. When you open this page, just understand in the basic way, it just downloads all the content of your pages. Okay, if you open any page, will be having all those things. It gets downloaded in your website browser. It's called WebAssembly, WASM content and all. So you have everything here. Okay, then on top of it, when you do the click, for example, I do click here, it means the whole thing is not rendering from server. Okay, let's see, I'm clicking here again back, I'm clicking here, so I'm keep doing. Okay, You can see each and every click, it won't get each and every data. Instead, only few calculations. For example, just to make it clarity, okay, you can see my page. Everything is, let me clear it. I'm clicking weather. So when I click weather, it just fetches weather.json data. Okay, from the server, it just fetches. It is having this data, but you can see the preview also. It is having only this data, but on the screen you will be having all this rendering, all those designing data. How it happens? The component has been downloaded already. That is the concept. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Quickly. Yeah, this is about Blazor. The beginning, this is enough. Okay. Now, coming back to the Blazor life cycle of page, it is simple. Whether you start from HTML, I mean ASP.NET or whatever, everything starts in it, we call. Then setting something and then exit kind of. Okay. Now, in the Blazor, they're trying to make it as simple as possible. The point is, let me open it up. Okay, to understand the concept of this page life cycle, it is simple. Now I'm in the page of this home. I'm clicking the counter page. You can see the URL gets changed to counter. What it happens on init. First, by default, on init will be called. Then there is a counter here. I'm just passed it for the sake of testing. But I didn't pass anything, so default has been set to zero. Before going to the code, please understand the code flow. It's very simple. On init is called, it's with the current count of 0, and then on parameter set is called parameter got set. That's it. There is a parameter here for this that has been set, and then on after render means, is it a first render? Yes, and the current counter is this 0. I'm just clicking. I just clicked the button here. Okay, I just clicked it. Then it says what is called on init is not calling, on parameter is also not calling, because there is no parameter set from outside. Instead, I have a parameter. I'm just setting it up here. So that is the reason. On after render, is it first render? No. Okay, only after rendering there is a render changes. That is the reason. Okay, current count is 1. I'm just clicking 2, 3, whatever you call. Okay, there is another button that is all having little changes, but don't worry, the same result is same. First render is false, like this. Now I'm just clicking other page. You can just notice here, if I change the content of this page from one page to other page, the page gets changed, the complete cache data gets cleared. But since the we are running in the component based, you have a kind of a page, and within that navigation you're making just like a tab. Within the page tab, you're making the changes. That is the reason it's not clearing. Okay, I'm just clicking the weather. Okay, it's not clearing. If I click this about, it gets, oh sorry, it is targeting to some other page. Leave it. So now counter, I just clicked. You can notice here, it was having, it's calling again on init is called again. Why it is called? Because the page got complete page got restarted now. Okay, I'm just clicking here. Counter again. Yes, when I enter the page directly, it will be on and it will be called. Otherwise, on after render only calls. Now, for the sake of testing, I will just pass the value or something called some 7 or 8 or whatever you call. Okay, now see, it's a new page, so everything got reset. On init is called with current count as 8, and on parameter called as on after render. This is the first render, current count is 8. Okay, now I'm just clicking this again, same on after first render is false. That's it. The flow is simple. Now jump back to the code for the sake of understanding. What I did is nothing. These are all called, okay, the page I have counter at, I just added some simple date time now dot to string, and I just added two buttons, increment counter. Here it does nothing, just current count just increasing, and state has changed. Maybe when you go depth, this state has changed forcefully. It requires, I mean, when you have something changes, some changes happened in your page, you need to reload the content, some update the status. That is called status changed. Don't worry at the beginning. Maybe in the later step you can have. But still, the difference is, maybe I click this one, increment counter 222 also. You can see I'm clicking this. Still, the result is same. Okay, it's just a forceful rendering. Okay, and then on initialized. This is the first step. on parameter set, on after render. These all are basic functionalities. Whether you have it or not, this will be getting executed. Since for the sake of demo, I just wanted to show, I just added these lines on init called, which current count, what is the count. So this kind of things. Okay, this is the life cycle of Blazor. So like this, Blazor is having n number of customization, and as I was telling, when we run this probably, if you run the website for the first time, see, I'm just running it. It takes little longer time because everything downloads as a component, then runs. So to avoid this, Microsoft what they made improved is they started making it up as called server side rendering. Means in the server only everything gets prepared and then delivers the content. So that is called server render mode. And not all the time. For example, you have a web application. First time it should run from the server, then later it should run with the client side. So for that sake, auto. Okay, there are n number of things. I'm happy to receive any other queries or improvements, suggestions, or whatever in the platform of GitHub, YouTube, or anywhere. So maybe I'm very happy to help you guys in terms of Blazor or any other stuff in terms of .NET also. Okay, this is about brief introduction about .NET and ASP.NET Core, all those things. ASP.NET Core again. Okay, maybe I missed WebAssembly here. The code visuals. What do you call code structure? It is simple. When you create a new Blazor WebAssembly with the whatever the configuration I had given, so you will just go here and then create new project and Blazor WebAssembly. Okay, WebAssembly means it's for the sake of only client side. It runs. You can see here, rich user dynamic user interface for the client side. Blazor Web App means it runs on the server with as the mode mixed up server and client, that kind of. So when you create it, you'll get it like this. www root. It will be having some style sheet, JavaScripts or any images kind of, and then layout. It's very easy to configure. You'll be having a layout. With that you can have CSS, or maybe just for the sake of understanding I'll just make it up. So you can create a separate what do you call uh, css .cs file also if you wanted to keep the code. Okay, let me go here. Counter is there, right? Okay, let's quickly item. I'll just create instead of keeping the code in the same file, I can keep it up in separate CS file. When you just add this, one sec. Oh, sorry. Actually, we should add the file name as dot razor counter dot razor dot cs. So when you add it, what it does is it gets with this itself. I mean, just for the sake of user understanding, it just makes it up. It's saying like counter is already there, so all those things. Okay, this is what we don't want it. So remove it. So when you have that, it says this, but still it is saying the error message because you need to make it partial class. The reason is because this particular counter.razor.css, this itself already has this content. Okay, now you can bring out this content to this particular place. That's it. This is all about Blazor. It's really a fantastic tool, improvement by Microsoft. I really appreciate the Microsoft effort, and even they are helping in terms of the platform is still not much broader spectrum, but it is really a nice tool. Yeah, this is all the journey about introduction. Nice. Thank you. Thank you all.